Can I firstly say that I'm very, very livid today because I just previously recorded this episode of Dungeon wa mashigate imasu ga, but was what? The entire episode wasn't even saved, so now I have to repeat the entire review. And do you think I am mad? Well, I said I'll live it, so technically I'm very frustrated that I have to re-review something that I reviewed, but that's completely fine with me. That just means that I have to re-record an hour video. Welcome back, children. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon 2, Episode 9 review. Oh boy. Alright. So how do I start off this episode properly with this? So, yeah, so I reviewed this already, but I'm gonna have to review it again. Which is just great. So, without even mentioning the episodes before last episode, let's start off this review with saying this episode was great. This episode was awesome. All the episodes of Season 2 have been increasingly better. They're all really fun. They all have different moods. Some of them combine the new moods and sort of bring them into newer moods, and that's all really cool. It's all great stuff, you know? It's just going real good for this season, and I'm having a great time with it. I really do like this season, watching it weekly, and I mentioned this in the video that isn't going to be uploaded because it didn't go through, which is great. Well, it didn't save. So, yeah, I mentioned this in that video, which is, I really like watching Memoria Freese weekly, and not like, because, of course, this channel wasn't a thing when Memoria Freese, the anime, premiered as a anime. And so I didn't really watch the first season weekly, obviously. And I didn't even watch anime back when this show came out. I only started watching anime at the beginning of last year, or end of the year prior to that. And only this year and last year have I learned so much about anime, especially when it comes to this game. And so it's just great to see Season 2 weekly, and be able to do a review on it and all that, and it's just great. It's fun, you know, because I follow some shows sometimes, but not all the time. I don't usually watch shows that you know, go on a weekly schedule, if that makes sense. Like in general, I don't watch TV. I only just watch YouTube, and if there's like a good movie on Netflix, then I'll watch it. But I don't usually watch stuff weekly, like, that hasn't been a thing that I've done since, since when? I don't even remember. It's been such a long time. Every show that I've watched, maybe, possibly, I think it's since last year, I haven't watched any shows weekly. I think the last show I watched weekly was Steven Universe, Season 5, when they released all the episodes. Not released all the episodes, but all the episodes leading up to Reunited, was the last time I watched weekly stuff. And I don't think that even was weekly. I think that was just daily episodes of Steven Universe, or every other day episodes of Steven Universe. But we're not talking about Steven Universe here. We're talking about how this episode is great. And I had a fun time watching it. Today was really long. Today was a very long day. So it was good to, just get a bottle of water, get some snacks, throw myself on my couch, just watch another beautiful episode. This episode was really good, like I've said. And not only because of the amount of action that was in this episode, not because of the amount of surprises in this episode, and, like that one major twist, but it's just, it really leaves you terrified. So, let's start talking about it, why don't we? So, like I already said, I've already reviewed this once! Now I gotta review it again, but now I have much more energy, which is perfect, because I did not have any energy whatsoever in the review that I did that never got saved! So, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting a lively review. Alright, so let's start off. If I sound very mad, it's because I am mad, but I'm also very energetic, because I'm totally always energetic. So, from this point, I have watched I watched this episode 2 hours ago. Or 3, sorry. I watched this episode 3 hours ago. Of course, I did the review starting an hour ago, and at that point, it had been 2 hours since I watched the episode. But now it's been 3 hours, but since I already did the review, I sort of remember more than I did in the review, which is great. So, before I even start reviewing, even though I've said I was gonna start reviewing already, I finally learned the name of the lady, of, the ugly, fat, not ugly lady, but, the ugly, frickin' bobblehead lady that put Belle in a dungeon and who was gonna, the lady who was gonna kill Belle. I finally learned her name. Her name, I think, is Ferne, or Firme, or Ferne, or Firene-san, or just Firene, or whatever, which I thought was really funny, because it sort of sounds like Fire-ne, sort of sounds like fear me, like Fira me, and Belle really does fear her, because of what happened last episode. But I think a bunch of other people fear her. I mean, I'm not sure about everyone, but I think most of the general population would. Yeah, population. I can speak. So, anyway, this episode starts off like the previous episode. The previous episode ended off with Belle and Makoto learning about learning the dark truth about Haruhime and how she had to be sacrificed, in this killing stone ritual, and the reason why she needed to die is because she had this power called level boosting. And level boosting can basically level boost not only one adventurer, but an entire familia to basically be elite adventurers. So that's not worrisome at all. So from there, from knowing that, Belle and Makoto, at the end of the last episode, were chased by the prostitutes, and they managed to escape and hide in like an alleyway, and that's where this episode starts off. So this episode starts off where Belle. Oh yeah, by the way, before I continue, before I properly start, I just want to mention that I did the gacha for today. Oh my god, I just realized something. Hold on, I just realized something. I actually forgot to play the episode. I forgot to do the special novel in the review that I already recorded. So technically I haven't seen the special novel. Yay! Okay, this is technically still a good review. Alright, great. That's awesome, actually. Okay, I'm slightly happier. So anyway, episode starts off with Belle and Makoto in an alleyway, you know, making sure they're completely invisible to all the prostitutes that were chasing them earlier. And in that moment, Belle is really conflicted about saving Haruhime or not. And that he was surprised that Aisha saw right through him, because Aisha at the end of the last episode said to him that, you know, that he couldn't make a decision, and that he was weak, and that he wasn't a man, but he was only a person that wanted to be a hero. And so then Belle was really mad about that, and Makoto saw that, and then just like that, the intro played. Great intro, amazing intro. Trumpets and all that good stuff. And then from there, oh yeah, by the way, I should actually be doing something in this game, shouldn't I? That would be a really good idea. Also, I leveled up some of this team, the summer crew, or the summer group, so that's cool to know. Anyway, like I was saying, the intro plays, great, trumpets and all, and it then goes to Aisha and Haruhime and the guards, or the other prostitutes, and they're all having a conversation about something, I forget, which I'm very sorry about. It's been 3 hours, just cut me some slack, and so after that, then it cuts to Makoto and Belle, who are, then it cuts back to Makoto and Belle, who are still in the alleyway, and Makoto goes off to see if they're in the clear, and while she goes off to check if they're in the clear, Belle thinks about, still thinks about Haruhime and how he's gonna save her and all that, and he's just really pissed off because he doesn't want to create another war. And from that, he's like really mad at himself, so he makes a fist and then just starts slamming his fist against the wall right next to him. And because of that, his hand starts to glow. And y'all know what that means, he is about to unleash a special attack. And so then he stands up, and then Makoto comes back, and then Makoto's like, Belle, we can go now, let's get out of here. And then Belle says, Makoto, I'm sorry, I'm gonna save Haruhime. And then Makoto's like, but shouldn't we get out of here? And then he's like, I'm gonna save her no matter what. And then Makoto starts crying, and she's like, I'm so glad I joined your familia. Thank you so much. And she's like, well, I'm not gonna let you go alone. So let's both get yelled at Hestia together. Which I thought was funny. And then from there, they sort of make a plan, where both of them are gonna save Haruhime, but obviously, but they're not gonna go the same way. So Makoto's gonna go try to find where Haruhime is, whereas Belle is gonna go ahead like, whereas Makoto's gonna sort of sneak in, Belle is just gonna do something else, and I'll get to that in a minute, which is something I'm really excited to say, even though I've already said it before. From there, Makoto, one of the big parts of the plan is that Makoto has 2 flares. And the green, she has a red and a green, a red and a green one. The red one, if she launches the red one, that means she's failed to save Haruhime. If she pops the green one, that means she's successful in saving Haruhime. So both of them knowing this, they both go their separate ways. Makoto tries to find where Haruhime is, and Belle, the badass, the hero, sort of, not yet, the true adventurer he is, storms the castle. You know, storms the castle so fast that the Fire Nation couldn't even attack. Didn't even have the time to attack. So I'm gonna take some water right there, because this guy just stormed the castle, knocking, like, just lit up that place like crazy, started blowing up everything, you know, just trudged through all the places of the palace, castle, whatever you want to call it. And when he started doing that, on the side, Hestia, Take, Oka, Chigusa, Lily, Welf were all at the front gate of the palace trying to find Belle and Makoto, and not trying to find them, but trying to convince the guards, like, let us in, we need to get Belle and Makoto. And the guards are like, no, we're not gonna let you guys in. And they kept on begging, and then, apparently, Take had ordered Oka and Chigusa to scout around the area to see if Belle and Makoto were anywhere, and they couldn't see them. And so, in that moment, the 6 of them saw Belle, you know, lighting up the palace type deal, by just trudging through, and they're like, it's like, wait, what's happening? And they realize that it's Belle. And the guards are like, wait, what? That's, like, what? And Hestia's like, shouldn't you guys go check that out? And the guards are like, nah, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here because, you know, Ishtar told us to stay here. You know, we obey Ishtar. We don't disobey Ishtar. Which, yeah, I mean, don't disobey Ishtar, or else you're gonna get brutally murdered by Firone, which is fear me. Which is, I definitely fear her. But anyway, from there, you know, Oka's like, I don't care, and then just knocks the guards out. Then Hestia, well, you know, the 6 of them, you know, enter the gate to the palace, and then it cuts back to Makoto. And Makoto is sort of hidden behind, like, a curtain of, like, a large window or, like, a slanted roof, and sort of peeks out to see that a prostitute, a war prostitute commander or whatever, is giving orders to other war prostitutes to go find little Rookie, of course, meaning Belle, and once all of them scatter, except for the commander that gave the order, which isn't really a commander, it's just a commander, Makoto, you know, sneaks right by, or sneaks, like, right behind, teleports right behind you, right behind the commander type person, and says, where is Haruhime being held? Like, Makoto basically just takes her neck and sort of, like, holds her in place, and she's like, where's Haruhime? And the commander's like, I'll never tell you. And then Makoto then threatens the commander with, like, a needle or, like, a vial or just an injection. Just injects her neck with something. and the commander says Haruhime is being held in the garden of some sort. I forgot what the garden's name is, but it's basically an outward bridge. It's like an outward bridge. It's like a bridge. It's a bridge out. Yeah, it's a bridge going out of the castle, going like on the side of the palace, and then it leads to like a platform, like an octagonal, or yeah, like a platform, a huge platform, which is where the ritual is going to take place. And from there, Makoto's like the garden, and so then she goes up to she goes and runs up to the garden trying to get there. And while she's doing that, we cut back to Belle, who's like outrunning all the war prostitutes and just blasting away. But eventually, the main 12, including Aisha and Haruhime, I guess, all catch up to him, and they all stumble into Ishtar's room. And Belle's never seen Ishtar before. He's only slightly seen her, maybe, when this whole arc started, which was episode 6. And so they all stumble in there, and just as they're about to kill, like, they were literally about to kill little Rookie, and then Ishtar's like, stop, all of you, go to the ritual, it's almost time. And they're like, but Ishtar, and Ishtar's like, I'll handle this one. And so then all the prostitutes leave to go to the ritual with Haruhime, to start setting it all up. They go to the garden place. And as they're, after they left, Belle looks at Ishtar and he sort of like blushes, but then looks away because he's really angry at her. And so Ishtar's like, oh, so you're Belle, and Belle's sort of like, oh, so you're Ishtar. And Belle then asks, why do you want to kill Haruhime? And Ishtar says that the Yujitsu or whatever power she has will level boost my entire army. Will level boost up my entire familia, not army, my entire familia, and we'll be able to destroy Freya familia. And he's like, oh. He sort of knew that, but he's like, I can't believe you, right? And again, I forget how the scene goes perfectly, but at some point, Ishtar orders her little servant to pin down Belle. And Belle is now pinned down to the floor of Ishtar's throne room, and then Ishtar walks down the stairs of her throne, going to Belle, and basically strips herself right in front of him, trying to, lure him into her and, trick him and all that. But Belle looks away, and Ishtar's really pissed off about that. And so she orders her servant to lift up Belle's head and just, make him look at her, fully nude. But Belle keeps looking away. And Ishtar tries, to seduce him, by, talking to him. But he's like, take your clothes off, take your clothes, not take your clothes off, but put your clothes back on. Not take your clothes off, Jesus. This isn't, Anyway, from there, Belle just, isn't entranced. And, and that really pisses her off. Like, well, at first it doesn't piss her off, but, she's confused. And, she's like, what? What? You haven't played Super Simulator? No, she's like, you haven't been entranced by my spell yet? Like, that's weird. And so then she asks her servant, like, the servant guy, check his status. And so the servant guy checks Belle's status, and she sees the secret. She sees the one thing that no one else knows except for Hestia, which is Liari's Freeze. She figures out that he has Liari's Freeze. And then she's like, blast! Like, not blast, but she's like, well, shit. And she's like, he can't be entranced. He's too powerful in a sense. Like, she can't seduce him. It's impossible. It's literally, magically, just anythingly impossible. And so then Belle goes ahead and runs away. Belle then goes ahead and runs away from Ishtar and tries to go to the ritual. And tries to run to the ritual. And so he goes to the ritual. He runs to the ritual, and then as he's running to the ritual, we cut back to Makoto, who just got on, who's in front of the garden, and Haruhime is there, and Makoto's like, Haruhime, I'm here, come with me, we're gonna escape. And then Haruhime's like, why are you here? Like, did I not tell you not to come here? Like, I don't want you to save me. I want to die. Like, I'm a prostitute. No one's gonna like me. And then Makoto was trying to say, like, Belle really wants to save you. And they had a whole conversation. But Haruhime, the stubborn renard she is, doesn't listen that much. And doesn't escape with Makoto in time. Which leads the other, which leads to Makoto's encounter with the war prostitutes. And so then they arrive, and they're like, what are you doing here? And Makoto's like, oh shit. And so they have a little fight, and then she eventually, like, sort of gets defeated. And then at some point, I forget when this happens, but they start the ritual. They all are in the garden, and Haruhime is placed in the middle. And Makoto's like, don't do this. And, they have the orb, they're about to kill Haruhime type deal. And Makoto then is like, I'm gonna fight you. And, Samira, the new character of this episode, not new character probably, but new character to me, says, alright, if you can defeat all of us, then maybe Goddess Ishtar can, grant your wish of, letting go Haruhime, which obviously was never gonna happen. Because, no offense to Makoto, but, I don't think at this stage she can really beat anyone. Of their caliber. And so, again, no offense to Makoto. Makoto's great. But, anyway, what happens is that Makoto gets beat up by Samira, and Samira, who's the one who is supposed to kill Haruhime, then passes the knife, because there's like a sword knife thing, and then like the bottom handle is the killing stone. So then she passes that blade sword thing, the killing stone blade per se, to another person, and Samira then begins to fight Makoto. Makoto's just wiped out. And then Samira's like, weak. Like, okay, let's do the ritual and get this over with. And then Makoto's like, she's struggling. So then Belle gets there. Or actually, no, wait. Makoto is actually kicked off of the bridge and almost falls down to her death. And while she's falling down, she lights the flare, the red flare, and just as Belle is making his way up, you know, like he's been doing, he sees the red flare and he's like, oh shit. And so then Belle just quickly runs to Haruhime and is super close, and then Makoto says, Belle, no. Or no, not Belle, no, but, Makoto then sort of just does a 360 in a sense of, she gets back onto the bridge, and Belle sees her, like, completely powerless, and he's like, Makoto, I'll help. And then Makoto's like, Belle, don't help. And Samira's like, oh, what are you doing here again? Obviously they haven't killed Haruhime yet. Because it's not time yet, because the moon, it's not proper nighttime yet, but it's going to be, or maybe it is, I forget. It's like right on the edge. And so then Belle, what he does is, she's like, wait, you don't want me to help? And then she's like, yeah, don't help. And she instead goes back to Samira, and she's like, I'm gonna fight you again. And Samira's like, you're not gonna beat me. And so, Makoto, what she does is that she tries to chant, something while she's holding Samira, or like forcing back Samira. And Samira's like, that's too long of an incantation, you're not gonna be able to finish it, and you're gonna fail. But apparently Makoto, surprising everyone, just like everyone else in this series, just like Soma, actually. Soma really did a real 360 himself. Sort of. And what happens is that Makoto releases like a magic discharge or something like that, which basically knocks out all the prostitutes, sort of, for like a minute. And she's like completely powerless. And then, she sort of rolls down a little bit, she sort of, because there's like stairs leading up to the garden, and there's the bridge leading up to the stairs to the garden, so she falls down those stairs. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. So, continuing, sorry, oh wait, what? We need orb stuff? Alright. Cool. So continuing from there, which I forgot where I even ended off, Makoto falls down the stairs, and she's completely powerless, and then Belle goes in, to save the day, and starts fighting, fighting everyone. And once Aisha realizes this, or Samira realizes this, one of them is like, kill Haruhime now. And so this other girl that was holding the killing stone dagger then rushes to go ahead and stab Haruhime, and and just as she was doing that, Belle rushes to Haruhime at the same exact time. Both of them really, really fast, and Haruhime is like, oh my god, am I gonna be saved? Am I not gonna be saved? Like this, like she's like really in between all this. And then And the great thing is that Belle stops the dagger stops the person who had the dagger from stabbing it into Haruhime. Which surprises everyone, and it makes me happy. It makes Haruhime happy. It makes Belle happy. But only for a second. And then the killing stone cracks. And then the outro plays! The greatest outro of all time! So yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if you get what it means that the killing stone cracked, but that means that Haruhime is dead. So that's depressing. I'm not sure if that's right. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but from what I can remember, she's dead. We failed. We failed. Isn't that spectacular? That was a real shocker, a real twist. And I sort of needed a minute to think after I saw that happen. You know, because I really couldn't believe that happened. It was like, for a second I was like, oh my god, Haruhime's alive, Haruhime, go live forever. Killing Stone cracked. Everything's gone. Infinity War style. And it doesn't really show her dying. But we can assume that she did die. Which really sucks. So, from there, oh yeah, and also, before I end this whole review off, which isn't going to be for like another 10 minutes, I also wanted to mention that at some point in the episode, Freya realized what Ishtar was up to, so she had all of her forces sort of gather around the palace, or her palace, Ishtar's palace. And they really didn't do much, which was weird to me. But anyway, with that crazy into an episode where supposedly Haruhime dies in, we get, after a great outro, we get an interesting title for the next episode, which is really, honestly, one of the most interesting titles this season, I think. You know, if I can, actually, I don't even have to go to the end of the episode to look at it. The end of the episode, it shows the title of the next episode, which is called Argonaut, the longing to be a hero, or the longing, the longing to be a hero, the longing for hero. And first of all, excuse me, Argonaut? Dude, I know we had an Argonaut episode here. Like, I know that we had an episode in season 1 called Argonaut, but you know, bringing that Argonaut name back is like, yeah. But besides me forgetting to say 10, 20, 30, and 40-minute mark, which I didn't forget to say all of those, totally not, is really cool. Is a really cool title, and I could really I can really say with some certainty if what happened at the end of this episode ends up, is really happened. Obviously it did, but, like, if what I'm saying that Haruhime died, if that's really what happened, then next episode is gonna be a really depressing episode. Is gonna be a really hard episode for Belle and Makoto. I think it's gonna be an extremely hard episode for Take, for Oka, for Chigusa. It's just gonna be a really hard episode. Especially, since it's called The Longing to Be Hero, because Belle really wants to be a hero, and he just can't be a hero. He wanted to be Haruhime's hero, but he couldn't, assuming she's dead. Or she died. And so that really saddens him, that really hurts him a lot. And at the same time, because of him trying to do that, more than likely he's started a war with Ishtar Familia, and Ishtar has the power of level boosting because of Haruhime's sacrifice to defeat not only Belle's Familia, but Freya Familia. So next episode, when you think about it, is really depressing. If I'm right, if Haruhime died, if that deal of that if Belle tried to save Haruhime and start a war, and because of that, he started a war with Ishtar Familia, next week's episode is going to be really hard. It's going to hit hard for Belle. And I don't like that. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. It's definitely something to look forward to. Because obviously, in order to grow, you need to have hardships, even if it's losing somebody. And it really sucks. Like, it really sucks. Like, and if I'm right, if Haruhime does die, it's gonna hit hard. Next episode's gonna really hit hard for Belle. It's gonna be a real reality slap. And I think that might just be the way the season's gonna end off, because we're in the month of September now. And I think the show is actually gonna end at the beginning of October, which is also when My Hero Academia Season 4 is coming out. So I'm totally not going to do reviews on that at all. Maybe I actually will. But that would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? To do a review for My Hero Academia Season 4 episodes in a Memoria Freese series? You know what, we talk about all different things here. We talk about Minecraft, we sort of talked about Steven Universe, we talk about PewDiePie, I make a few jokes of outdated memes, like Area 51, because, I don't know, I didn't, that was in the episode that was not saved. I made an Area 51 joke that Belle was so powerful when he stormed the castle, that I swear, after another 52 arcs of, continuously fighting with Fireball and all that, he could quite possibly be our Lord and Savior of, besides everyone else in the Area 51 raid, if there's ever going to be one, in the memed one, he could become the Lord and Savior of the Area 51 raid. But yeah, maybe I could do reviews on all the My Hero Academia Season 4 episodes. Don't count on it, but count on it. Anyway, so this show's ending pretty soon. Not the show, but the season is ending pretty soon. Because today's episode, of course, was episode 9, and assuming that this is going to be a 13-episode season, we have 4 more episodes left. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13. Of course, another month of Memoria Freese, Season 2. And so I think the final episodes of this season is going to be... Well, obviously, I think next episode is gonna... is just gonna be a really hard episode, a real reality check, a really hit to the gut, a really punch to the gut for Belle and Makoto and Take Familia. But especially Belle. And that hurts. But as for episodes 10, 11, 12, and 13, I'm not sure, or not 10, 11, 12, but 11, 12, 13, I'm not sure. I would say that 11, 12, 13 could maybe be maybe be like a small arc, or maybe like slice of life episodes. Or maybe it's, you know, just the arc of recovering from Haruhime's death. Again, if that's really what happened. Or, like I said, it could be slice of life stuff. Again, like I said, it could set up a new arc, which I highly doubt. If there's gonna be an arc that's gonna be 3 episodes, or 4 episodes, then, or 3 episodes, sign me up. That sounds like I mean, we did technically have a 4-episode arc with War Game. Or, that was actually a 5-episode arc. But you get the point. So, yeah, it's certainly interesting. I mean, for most of the people who know what's going to happen next, who have read the manga, who know much more than the people who only play the game and watch the anime, in other words, me, even though I have the manga, and even though I should know everything, but I don't, because I haven't read manga, because I don't have time to read manga, because high school is hitting harder than ever before. But yeah, so I just don't know what's coming up next. I don't really want to be spoiled, because I'm enjoying this show without being spoiled. So even though I've never asked this before, please don't spoil this. Don't spoil anything for me if you know what's coming next. If you don't, well then great. Please, just don't spoil it. So yeah, that's the whole review for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that whole little review, but now let's enjoy another good special novel, why don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Special novel 9 Plea. Hey, it's Seer.
ベルさんのお弁当、今日も自信作にしなきゃ。
Alright. Oh?
リュウ、長引かせてもいいことはないわ。
Oh?
あなたの手で引導を渡してやるの。わかりました。
Oh man.
シル、こんなことは言いたくないのですが。
何？リュウ。
もう、クラネルさんに昼食を渡す必要は
What?
ないのではないでしょうか。
What? No.
ウォーゲームも終わり、彼にはファミリアができた。その、昼食を作ってくれる仲間が。
No, that's so sad.
聞く話によると、あのヤマトミコトとかいう極東がある。
No.
相当な料理の腕らしいにゃ。
I mean, cool, but no,
いい
for
嫁に
Seer.
なれると、神々が褒めたたえる。
No.
そういえば、冒険者くんこの頃顔出さないよね。
Oh.
アホにゃ。
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. Seer, don't think about that.
もっと料理がうまくなりたい。
Oh.
いえ、なってみせる。
Oh.
だからみんな、手伝って。
Oh man, that's the plea of a lifetime. Oh, shit. Alright. Oh, wow.
クラネルさん。ケンさん。どうしたんですか？
What the hell happened?
そうな顔して。
Did you guys get attacked by Seer or something?
もうダメにゃ。
Oh, is this because Seer is really hard on you guys? Or what the hell happened? 50-minute
間に合わ
mark.
なくなっても知らんぞ。
What happened?
シルを止めて。いえ、シルの注射を
Jesus!
受け取ってください。
No! No! Seer's become the villain.
味見はもう嫌だ。
Oh. No, it's, I thought she beat you guys up or something. Just because you don't want to taste any more of her food. Later that day, Belle accepted Seer's lunch as usual, thus releasing everyone else from the torture of endless taste testing. In this way, a young man's healthy stomach was sacrificed for the good of the many. That was great. That was fun. Yeah, so we have until the 9th of October. Which is funny because I feel like I have something on the 9th of October, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I have a test. Anyway, that was that. That was fun. And that has been this episode. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. If I did, great. If I didn't, terrible. But if I already mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again. I got Samira. I don't know if I showed Samira already or not. But if I didn't here, I'll just open up a party. Samira's right here. The sort of tan, silver-haired girl. So that's cool. So we have, like, a bunch of people. We have Daphne, and I want to say we have, or not Daphne. Character list. Can I get a character list, please? She's not Daphne. Cassandra, sorry. Cassandra, where's Daphne? Do I not have Daphne? Aww, wait, really? Do we not have Daphne? Yeah, I know that we have Samira. Yeah, I don't think we have Daphne. But, oh, maybe... It's because she's an assist? Is that why? Let's check. Daphne. She maybe assist? Yeah, no. Yeah, but it's cool that we got Cassandra and now Samir, so we got some people from Season 2. So that's always good. But anyway, it's gonna wrap up this review nicely. Again, this is a great episode, but it had a very crazy sort of end, like an oh shit we failed end. And it's a great cliffhanger, and it's a cliffhanger that it's not like we don't know what's gonna happen, but it's a great way to end off the episode with. It's a great cliffhanger to end off an episode that we sort of already know what's gonna probably happen after it, but we don't at the same time. But yeah, that's my review and theory for the next episode. Obviously, next episode, my theory is Belle's gonna be real depressed about losing Haruhime again. If that happens, if it doesn't, well then great. But that would be weird because next episode's called "The Longing to Be a Hero," and if he had saved Haruhime, he would already be a hero. So yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for watching the episode of that show. Episode 493 or 92. We have 8 or 7 more days left. Or I think it's like 8 or 7 days left until episode 500. So, tomorrow we're going to be doing some sort of Rotoria, Lafia side. That'll be like an hour episode, not an hour episode actually. Another 30-minute episode, so that'll be really cool. But until then, thank y'all for watching. And I'm going to go ahead and take a nap. Bye!